Hey, welcome back to another episode of Stream of Thought, and we are in the second of a long summer series that we're starting of Stream of Thought.
The Throwback Series.
The Throwback Series,
Throwback Thursday.
And if you want to take a look at what we're doing for the summer, refer back to our episode, our special announcement episode that's in the feed. You can check that out. But Shannen Boyd, man, Dr. Shannen Boyd, we get a chance to talk with her in this episode back when she was first starting up her practice years ago. And it is quite
really fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got so many insights and stuff like that. And it's a great episode.
It's cool because listen to this and then go back and listen to episode 79 because she was featured on episode 79 of Stream of Thought. Or what you can do is just stop what you're doing right now, listen to episode 79 first. It's like watching a movie and then the sequel is really the prequel.
It's like, like a Star Wars episode 1 version we got going on here.
Like this is going on, but then later is footage or audio from what happened before the initial.
And it all makes sense at the end.
And it all makes sense at the end. A re-release from our YouTube series Straight Up. Again, for more context of what we're talking about, go to our special announcement in the feed. But with no further delay, featuring Dr. Shannen Boyd, Stream of Thought. We hope you enjoy. All right, so welcome to another episode of Straight Up. I'm Victor Marquez. I'm here with Rick Thorcell, Neil Batang, and our guest, Dr. Shannen Boyd. Today on Straight Up, we have Dr. Shannen Boyd, owner and chiropractic physician at Boyd Chiropractic and Rehab. Dr. Boyd received her undergraduate degree in biological sciences from Northern Illinois University, where she was a member of NIU's Division I cheerleading team. During her time at NIU, she was also a national cheerleading and gymnastics coach. Dr. Boyd is a graduate of Palmer College, where she received her doctorate in chiropractic and physiotherapy.
Welcome to the show.
That's a lot.
Welcome.
It's quite a resume right there.
Nice to be here.
Very accomplished.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Very good.
Good.
Thanks.
Good.
How about you guys tonight?
Doing all right.
We're well. Wish it was warmer outside, but dealing with the cold.
Yeah, wish it was warmer. I just got back from Florida.
You just got back from Florida?
I mean, that's where, I was there for 4.5 years.
When did you come back to Chicago?
I moved back officially like the first week of July.
Okay.
So this is my first winter back.
I couldn't do the warm weather because I feel like I'm more productive when it's cold, and I kind of humble myself during the winter time.
Really? Like you just stay inside?
Exactly. And I focus and I'm humbled, but then when it's warm, I get a little...
He's a cocky a-hole who no one wants to be
Not
around.
cocky, but I do tend to have a little more fun. That's how it goes normally. But
I gotcha.
So tell us, what are you doing now? You are a doctor in chiropractic?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm a chiropractic physician. So I started my own practice when I moved back in July. And that's my practice in Wheaton. But I'm also practicing in 2 other offices. They're not ones that I own, but I practice as an independent doctor there. So one's in Gurney and one's downtown in River North.
That's crazy. And you're 28, 27?
Yeah, 28. I just turned 28 last month.
Congratulations.
I still remember your birthday party. I remember your birthday was always in the beginning of January because I remember you had that party that one year. I think it was our freshman year of college or something
in
like
a basement.
That.
Yeah. You had the best party, Shannen, but it was always so cold. Like Shannen Boyd knew how to, throw a good event, funny. But it was always so cold. I wish you were born in the summer.
Don't tell people that they're doctors.
That's right. Surprise.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, doctors do have a social life. If you're judging,
we're still normal.
get over
and
it.
Child, you're still a person. Yeah. Well, how did you come to this point? I mean, we read a little bit about your bio and the injuries back pain that you had to deal with, and how did that all progress to culminate in becoming a doctor and owning a couple of clinics?
So I was always super active with sports and athletics. You always get a couple injuries, do different therapies to heal. And I think in undergrad, that's when I really got my first experience with a chiropractor. I hurt myself. I was cheerleading for college, but I was also coaching club cheerleading. So it was just a lot like with my shoulders, a lot with my neck, and then tumbling is just, everybody gets back pain from that. So I went to a friend and they suggested a chiropractor. One was downtown and one was here in Wheaton, right by where we grew up. Mm-hmm. So on a winter break, I was home from NIU and I went to the chiropractor and he fixed my shoulder that I'd hurt in one visit. So I asked if I could observe some other patients, and I asked to look at a bunch of x-rays, and then every winter break, I would go there. I would start to work there. Every summer break, that's where I was.
Was this in high school that this was going on, or this was college?
College.
Okay.
Yep, from my freshman year of college. But really, I wanted to go to dental school until my experience with the chiropractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents put me in a lot of those, Kaplan study classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that transition then from dentistry to chiropractor? So
it was just really the more experience I had with the chiropractor, and everyone felt good when they left the chiropractor. Like, nobody wants to go to the dentist. And nobody feels good.
If you go to the chiropractor, it's like, oh, maybe I'll get a massage before I...
But you just always feel good when you leave. Like, you feel better than when you came there. And that's not... You don't get that with a lot of other doctors' office, Even MDs, if you go and you're sick, you still don't leave feeling any better. Maybe if they give you some medicine and days later you feel better, but...
Yeah. So you like the instant gratification of people smiling at you after they leave the office.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So what would you say is the most rewarding thing about being a chiropractic, a doctor, chiropractic person?
A chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Excuse me.
What are the benefits? What's wrong with the English language right now? That's cool.
So I get to hear a lot of cool stories from patients, just their progress, people who've had pain their entire lives, finally getting some relief. It's pretty cool. I see 3 generations in one room. I treated grandpa, his dad, and their 2 daughters. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Today I heard a pretty crazy story from one of my patients. So after I adjusted him, he told me that he had some balance and coordination issues, and I asked how did it start? And he was in Afghanistan, and he used to fill the tires for their tanks. And usually they fill them in a cage, and this day either they ran out of cages or they didn't have enough, and that was his job, and the tire blew up in his face. So the truck flew into the air, he flew into the air, and landed on top of some piece of the truck, and he's lost his hearing, has had a lot of middle ear issues, which throws off your balance and coordination. So working with him for a few weeks, he said now his response to things is a lot faster. His coordination, his balance, he can hear a little better. His ears don't ring all the time. So just different stories. It's not always about your back pain or ankle pain, And that was pretty cool.
So what's the difference between then, if you could elaborate, what you do between that and physical therapist?
Okay. So I'm also board licensed in physiotherapy, so I can do physical therapy for injuries and anything like that.
Okay.
That's just a secondary thing, though, to what I do. That's a supplement to the chiropractic adjustment. So my main thing is adjusting bones, adjusting joints. All the joints in your spine, your elbows, your fingers, anything that's bony. Physical therapists usually do a lot of muscle and soft tissue work. So they can't do the bony adjustment, the manipulation, but they're good for muscle rehab, a lot of muscle injury things. So sometimes there's some that are more specialized, in an injury than I am. So I'll just go send patients there, refer them back and forth.
Right on.
But we're different.
Cool.
It's good though for a patient to see a chiropractor and a physical therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the dual responsibility of both being a doctor and owning a business. What has that process been like? I don't know too many young people who have gone out and opened their own business, especially having a doctorate under their belt.
Yeah, it's not what I planned to do, but I'm glad that that's the path that I chose.
How did that all come to be?
I really wanted the freedom to kind of treat my patients how I wanted, and to grow practice in an area that I like to be in a place that I grew up. So it was kind of start your own. I had to figure out how to get a business plan, how to get an LLC, and first of all, just getting my license and getting credentialed with insurance.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine that would have been very easy.
It's difficult. I'm still learning.
Well, that's a good thing.
And I thought that this way you wouldn't take your work home, but now I go to work and then my work is still home because owning your own business, that part. But
yeah, do you ever sleep?
Yeah, I try to take
naps. I try to take naps, yeah.
Pepsi sometimes.
Were you used to that process, though, in grad school where it wasn't around the clock or things like that, doing rounds? Or...
I mean, in chiropractic school, it was like that for sure. There would be days and days you didn't sleep. We would have like 11 tests in a week.
Doesn't sound very healthy.
Yeah, your boards. Boards are like, testing 600 questions over 2 days.
Now I know why you want to make people smile.
Yeah.
After I've been through all that.
Yeah.
So.
But you know what? It's funny. I would go do it again. We all said when we were there, like, God, why did we start this? I would never do this. But now that I'm finished, I would go back in a second.
What's the most rewarding part about it?
Really just the stories that your patients tell you. Some days you think, like, did I even help this person? Did I do anything? And then they'll tell you their next visit. I was finally able to start working out again. I was able to run with my husband. So things like that, it's rewarding to hear. And you feel good, like, helping people and you notice their energy changes. It really helps your own energy.
So you're able to dispel that rumor then that med school ends up just sucking the life out of it. Was it med school or is it a...
No, it still is. It's chiropractic school, so it's just another type of medicine.
Okay, but not life-sucking in the way that...
I mean,
you hear stories about.
Oh, they all are.
They all boards,
everybody wants to
the fact that you can still smile and
nobody's sleeping. Everybody looks like crap. Like, but you're all going through the same thing.
Yeah, that camaraderie is definitely helpful.
Yeah,
real quick, try not leaning back so much. Leaning more in. It's okay. We can edit everything.
Okay.
That sounds a little bit
better.
I think so. We'll find out when I ask you this next question real quick. What's the most difficult thing you encountered when getting your doctorate degree? What was the most difficult or frustrating thing going through the process?
So going through the process of school or afterwards, starting as a doctor? Or both?
From just before, it sounded like the exams are really hard, but was there any type of exams are always hard for everybody, you know?
Right.
But I guess, was there a certain material that you had to learn or just anything that struck out, any memory or event when you were in school that was just like, wow, I just feel like quitting right now?
Oh, yeah. There was a couple of those. Oh, my gosh, yeah. So, there was this one time, I think it was during finals, and everybody's just scatterbrained. So we had this one teacher who taught X-ray radiology. So it was going over all X-rays, different fractures, different cancers, patterns of looking through X-rays and MRIs. And she was the hardest teacher we had. If you came into class 2 minutes late, she made you walk out. She marked you as absent and counted against your grade. But so this one test, she had us all turn in our test before we walked out. And I looked at the pile. I guess I put my test back in my backpack. And I went home.
Oh no!
When I got home, I was opening my bag, and I was just like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I have my test here. What am I gonna do?" So I had to go back. That was the one time that I cried at school because she's just like, "Well, there's nothing we can do. Maybe you can make it up on the next one." She ended up talking to somebody else. They let me retake it. I got a better grade, anyways. But
this was in Florida.
Yeah, I could have had to retake a whole semester, a whole quarter of class because of that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What part of Florida were you living in?
Port Orange, right by Daytona Beach.
Right by Daytona Beach.
Yep.
Okay.
That was nice. We'd go study on the beach. We'd have an hour between class.
That's the dream. If I were to go to graduate school, I'd have to go someplace
Florida,
warm.
Aside from all the hurricanes.
Hey, great people, warm weather.
We had maybe 2 tropical storms the whole time we were there. People loved it because the waves got bigger, but...
No, he's not meant for warm weather. He's not a warm weather dude.
That's why I have the beard,
No.
It's roughing it up here in the wild north.
Keep you warm.
Keep you warm. You'd be surprised how effective it is as a wind block, yeah.
Yeah, you don't got a beard?
That's because, I've always struggled to grow facial hair.
I was about to say that, but I didn't want to put you on blast.
Yeah, she asked me the question, not true. But yeah, that's why I just grow it up top because I make up for the lack at the bottom.
I gotcha.
But talk about performing an adjustment, because I read somewhere that a lot of people, when they seek a doctor in your field, they look for someone that's normally a guy because they believe that they're naturally stronger, can better adjust the kinks in someone's back compared to a girl. What do you say to kind of defend yourself in your position?
So that's also been something that's pretty difficult, just for one, being a female doctor and then being younger. When people come into the office, they'll be like, "Oh, well, where's the doctor?" Or I'll hear them talk to the other secretary and say, "Oh, who's the new girl working here?" Oh, okay, so maybe I need to just dress a little different. Do I need to wear my coat? But I learned from a female doctor in clinic. So we go through clinicals like med school, same thing. Mm-hmm. So she was a female. She taught us really how to use your body weight to do adjustments. Because I have patients who are, 6'3", 6'4". Some basketball players who are, I think my tallest patient was like 6'7". So just really using your body weight for leverage, because it's important that you don't hurt yourself as a doctor, first of all. Yeah. Otherwise you're not going to get anything done. But it's really about speed, technique and speed. It's not about strength. So we've had, some of the bigger guys in our classes were not some of the best adjusters. But it's really about technique. So you have to own your skill.
Yeah, has that presented any sort of challenges when it comes to starting up your business in any way?
So that's been really a good selling point for me. Since I was with that chiropractor before, studying and kind of shadowing under him, I got to learn some adjustments before I ever went to school. Nice. So that was like really my strong point. Yeah, I was adjusting before I had ever got there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then you go to a lot of seminars. You find some electives at school. They just introduce you into little different fields of chiropractic. Some doctors, they only focus on the neck. Some only focus on the hips. I took seminars that we do different brain balancing things. So just really owning your skill.
Yeah. So what do you focus on then?
So I like to do the adjustments. I don't just focus on the spine. I'm really big with extremities. So elbows, knees, shoulders, ankles. I was an athlete, so athletes hurt more than just their back.
Yeah.
I got to treat a couple Bears players. Their knees were big things.
Yeah, I saw that on your website.
Yeah, so sports injuries has been pretty big. I want to start getting into some pediatrics and maybe like some kids, athletes, stuff like that.
Kids.
Yeah. They respond to chiropractic so fast. I know.
And bounce back.
Yeah.
Seems like there's more of a need with that these days, too.
Oh, yeah. These kids walking around with, like, helmets and all that, it's so bad. Sometimes adjusting loosens, different sutures, different skull bones loosens, bones in the neck for colicky babies with ear infections, stuff like that. So it's important for little kids, too.
That's awesome. Good for
but
you.
somehow I turned into the sports chiropractor.
Yeah. Is there just more business, you think, with people that are athletes, like the need or the demand to do what you do with athletes compared to
they're definitely
kids?
more demanding on their bodies
because they get injured more often,
and they just require more out of their body.
Okay.
So they need to put a little bit more into it. But I don't think that there's a need for them more than any normal person.
You ever had a difficult patient, somebody who were annoying the hell out of
doctor,
you?
Of course, she's had difficult patients.
How do you deal with difficult patients when you encounter them? Like, do they teach you the psychology of like zenning them out, or how do you take care of that?
Yeah, they can only teach you so much, but I try to treat patients like my mom. If she was having a bad day, or if it's anybody's mom, like would I send my mom to that doctor? That's how I try to treat everybody as a patient. So difficult ones, whatever, they always end up being nicer.
No, it's all good.
I think it's so fascinating, the fact that you still seem human after doing all this. And I think not
it made me more human, I think.
Yeah.
Just really going to Florida and being in the South was a little different way of life than being here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
It makes you a softer person. Like walking around the streets here, if you don't
say
say hi,
bless her heart?
Yeah, like nobody would say anything. If you walked past somebody in Florida and you didn't say hi, how's your day? They'd be like, what is wrong with you? Where are you from?
So even Florida has that Southern hospitality type environment. That's so
really
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't experience that when I was in Florida.
Were you in Miami or something?
Yes, I had to. Shannon, I had to hit up South Beach. You know me, I love a good time.
Yeah, that was my little weekend getaways.
How far were you from South Beach?
250 miles.
250 miles.
So just under 4 hours.
I would walk on South Beach.
It was a straight shot. The highway was a mile from my house.
Yeah. And I would try to, make friends. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? And they would look at me like crazy. And it's just always a party. It's 24/7. It's nonstop.
But that's only Miami. That's South Beach.
Yeah.
The rest of Florida is not like that.
It's much more humble. Normal.
Miami is like LA, Chicago.
Yeah.
Man.
That's like when I was with my friends from Indiana, and I'd say like, oh yeah, like back in Illinois, and they're like, no, you mean Chicago. The rest of Illinois is not like Chicago. But in my brain, it's like, wait, no, what? There's more outside of the Chicago area?
No, if you're from Illinois, you have to say you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
But God forbid you meet somebody from Chicago in another town and you say you're from Chicago, they're like, where are you from?
I know. They're so
like,
pretentious.
Just like that New York.
You can't say you're from Chicago.
Well, I was thinking about it the other day because, like, yeah, like Santa Monica and Hollywood, all of those are like within the LA city limits, but like the downtown is very small. And you can say you're from LA and, you know, be all over the place. Yeah. Same with like New York. You can be from New York and be from Long Island or like Queens, but not, you know, outside of Manhattan. Then like you can say you're from Chicago, but if you're like not, if your address is not inside the city limits, no, you're not from Chicago.
Yeah.
But it did bother me when I'd meet people at school and they'd be like, I'm from Chicago. Yeah, where? Like, oh, I live in Valparaiso or like somewhere in Northwest.
Not from Chicago.
Somewhere in Northwest Indiana. I'm just like, no. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to say no to you on that one.
Yeah, I love Glendale Heights.
Do you still live there?
Yeah, of course.
You do?
Yeah, I live in Glendale Heights. I tell everyone when I meet them.
GH?
Yeah, I'm from a little place called Glendale Heights. You could look it up. And once we make it, we're going to put it on the map. That's exactly what I intend to do. Would you say, Shannon, that most of your patients are Caucasian or are white?
No.
What would you say the demographic of patients you treat?
Most of them are black.
Okay, so most of them are African American.
Yeah,
see, he asked that because he read a study that said something like, was it 97%?
97% of people that receive
chiropractic
treatment are white. So what I wanted to ask you personally...
I have a couple of Hispanic patients.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, actually in Florida, most of my patients were white, but...
Okay. How do you believe?
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
though.
As a minority in this field,
well, and
that
also
you can increase
growing
that
up
awareness.
like in DuPage County, there's less black people. Yeah. Period.
Okay.
But that's my majority of patients.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like it's a.
Where's this study from? I want to see it.
Global. It was called
Wikipedia.
Global Health.
Wikipedia, that's right.
Globalhealth.com.
Actually, an article I wrote myself.
Yeah,
I'm really happy he remembered it. Was just like, oh, I can't remember.
Globalhealth.com.
See, always know your sources, man.
Always had the sharpest memory.
Okay.
One of the sharpest in high school, if you don't remember. But
I remember.
yeah, how do we increase the awareness though in the minority community? Like, how do you think we can get people better informed?
Chiropractic.
Exactly.
You know what? It's really word of mouth is a big thing. If you have a positive experience with any doctor, really, you should share it. But that's a good question. It's something that I haven't really looked into. It's something, I guess, for the future that I could kind of look into that. But speaking of it, my dad actually does a lot of business for minority-owned companies.
Okay.
So, I mean, that would be something maybe we could both kind of do together.
Yeah. Look into
Do you have any ideas for that? Did you look up anything?
He was just trying to find
like
fun
to raise
stats.
awareness if you know that there's a market that's under targeted.
Yeah, like no one in my family, and I have a huge family.
You've never been to the chiro?
Like 10 million.
You've never been?
I've never been. I've been to a physical therapist.
Yeah.
I've never been to a chiro.
When you got hurt for something?
When I got hurt once upon a time, I had to seek physical therapy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have thought to do it. And I told my mother, I'm like, hey, I'm interviewing someone from high school. She's like, oh, really? Who? What does she do? I'm like, she's a chiropractor. And she's like, oh, what? I'm like, she's a chiropractor. She's like, what are those? And I'm like,
did she think I do massage? That's what you get all the time.
Like
I would
like,
imagine.
oh, so you can get a massage.
She brought up massage envy because she goes there all. I'm like, no, it's a little more different than massage envy, but yeah, this is what she does and what she's about.
Yeah, but you get that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, do you have a certificate? Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah. It's the really fun stuff.
Uh-huh.
Do a lot of people that you see, you treat them for things that are as a result of like, lifting or sports, or are there a lot of people that you see who come in as a result of just not having a very active lifestyle, and maybe they are helping someone move, and because all of a sudden that shock to their body, they then have to come see you?
No, it's definitely both. But the response, an athlete's body will respond a lot faster to treatment because they're more conditioned. As in someone who hasn't been exercising, their back went out when they went to reach for something, they were lifting something, their body responds a lot slower. Those muscles are deconditioned. Those nerves are even deconditioned. So they're going to need a little bit more aggressive treatment to get better, whereas a body that's conditioned and exercising responds a lot faster to treatment.
Do you see a lot of people, like, let's go back to people who do sports or active lifestyle or whatnot, a lot of people that you see, would you say some of them, when they see you, it's just a result of years of wear and tear, or do you see a lot of people who just overwork their body?
You get both.
Both.
So you have some people, they woke up and they don't know what they did, and it's been like this for a few days. So you get some of that. You get some of the wear and tear, the repetitive motion from work, overhead lifting, and then you just get some injuries from athletes. But that's what's really been the fun part of the job. Like, you don't know what you're going to get, especially on a Saturday. Saturday mornings are my crazy days.
Really?
Because patients get hurt over the weekends. Chiropractors usually aren't open on Fridays. So you get, like, the most extreme. Their wives are helping them walk, and, like, they cry when they take off their shoes because their back hurts so bad.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. But that's fun, though. It's on you, like, it keeps you on your toes. It's never the same.
So
no patient is ever the same.
Like an investigation, like a mystery
Yeah,
of, like,
it's what it
figure
is.
out.
Oh, that's fun.
It is. It's fun. Like, let me figure out what you do. Okay, that makes sense. Why this hurts. Okay, were you doing this? Like, you get to ask 21 questions.
Has there ever been a case where you've just been totally perplexed as to what is wrong with this person that you just can't figure out what? Or are you relatively deductive?
So there's been this one male patient, and no matter what I would do, he said, he said he had the same amount of pain. He had better range of motion, but he always had this low back pain. And he was an older guy, and he went to what?
I already know he just is saying that, so like you can massage.
That's what I was thinking. So like he was like
no.
trying to like
he was like saying that I was unexperienced because he went to
on the wall.
Yeah, he
Sounds
went to
more psychological
Yeah.
than
in the
physical
office
pain.
that I'm in Gurnee, there was a lady. She sold her office to another female doc. So I help her and I treat all the patients that she left. So he was like, "Well, the doctor that I used to see, she would just dig in there real good, and then he was like, but maybe she was more experienced than you." So
That's cool.
he was probably just crushing on the female doctors
find
there.
someone else.
Yeah.
You got that
maybe I'm
problem.
not the doctor for you.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if he walked in and saw a male
the
doctor,
thing is,
he'd
no
be
doctor
completely
is
against
for
it.
everybody, though. Everybody is going to respond to things differently. So I'm not for everybody. Most people.
Do you have to tell clients you might need to go somewhere else?
After a few periods of treatment. So then we'll investigate other things like MRIs or more invasive procedures. But it's good when patients come to me first before they go see the surgeons, the neuros, the people who want to cut, see what your least invasive treatment can help your body. That's my main goal.
Where do you get your referrals from?
So a lot of them are word of mouth. I'll do some flyers, some promotional things like free exams, check insurance, things like that. A lot of social media.
So you don't ever get them from medical doctors?
Oh, yeah. I get a couple.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, a couple. Because...
Yeah, there's one MD in particular. And a couple podiatrists, too.
All right.
Yeah.
I asked
like
you
ankles.
that.
I'm good with ankle pain, plantar fasciitis, foot pain.
Foot pain.
Uh-huh.
I know this acupuncture
Mm-hmm.
girl, like a specialist, a doctor, and she tells me that a lot of people in her field and in your field are struggling to get respect in the medical field or in the science industry
sure.
because they kind of reject the whole holistic nature of what you guys do.
Well, there was a whole thing years ago. MDs and chiropractic, the ACA, they sued each other. So chiropractors sued MDs because MDs were publishing a lot of work saying that chiropractic doesn't work and telling their patients not to see them, which is, it's neglectful to not, allow another treatment that's beneficial.
Yeah.
But so the ACA, American Chiropractic Association, they won. And MDs had to, ban or take away all the stuff that they had already put in print. And, I mean, some of them still don't believe in chiropractic. But that's been a battle for, 80 years.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
This is a battle that you've been forced to fight at
Yeah, but some MDs are really good. A lot of DOs are good about referring patients. And then you have some that came from families of doctors who are so anti-chiropractic. I went to the same doctor my whole life. Basically, I just stopped going to a pediatrician a few years ago.
Nice.
But when I told her that I was going to chiropractic school, she disowned me.
Oh.
It's like, at least promise me that your patients will get vaccines. Promise me that you'll do this. I'm just like, that's not my belief in practice. So I've known her my whole life, and she was very anti-chiropractic.
Wow.
My dad knows somebody that's been a dentist, I think, for 30-something years, and I had a conversation with her, and they were telling me like how when people will refer, a dentist will refer someone to an orthodontist or whatever avenue people take.
Right.
This woman was saying like how much I guess you could say, corruption she's seen in unnecessary referrals, talk a little bit about that in your particular industry.
No, there's a ton of that, even with pain prescription pills, things like that. If a doctor is getting paid by a certain company, they're going to push that product, whether it's the best for that specific patient or not. Or, I'll send you to my friend who they'll take an image that maybe you don't necessarily need, but if you have good insurance, a lot of doctors will do that to max out people's insurance and max out benefits. But just like there's good docs, there's bad docs. So you have to be careful with who you go to, really, for anything.
Is there a way for the average person to know who's a good doc and who's a bad one?
Try to, Google, see some reviews.
Yeah,
if you can find a doctor by word of mouth, or somebody that, if you have a doctor you trust, somebody that they refer you to is usually a good fit. But yeah, try to ask somebody with a similar condition who found some progress, some success with.
In your experience, Shannon, are a lot of health insurance companies reluctant or hesitant to give their clients medical coverage for chiropractors?
It depends. A lot of them are good with it. Like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, Aetna, things like that. They're pretty good. They'll usually give their patients, say, 20 or 25 visits, and you can use those throughout the year that they'll pay either 80 or 100% of. But they give you a discounted rate. So insurance is never going to pay us the full amount of the bill. They have rates that they've already agreed to with whenever you get credentialed with insurance. That's what you accept. So with an MD, sometimes you'll get reimbursed more on the same code. So you'll get paid differently if you have another doctor sign your notes. So sometimes they'll have clinics. I was in one clinic like that where they had an MD there to sign off on notes, so they got reimbursed more. But insurance does cover most chiropractic care. It just don't pay you as well all the time.
And in your position, you are empowered to prescribe medication when needed.
That's against our philosophy.
Okay.
We are natural healing. So no toxins. That's one of our things that we are against.
Good. Because I do believe that we are overly medicated as a society.
Well, yeah, there's so many people in rehab centers right now for prescription pills. Like, that's the number one addiction in America right now is prescription pills. You think it's okay because my doctor gave it to me. Well, it only takes 20 days to form a habit. So if you took a pill for a month, guess what? You're going to want to keep taking it. And guess what? Your insurance is now paying thousands and thousands of dollars to these pill companies for 10 and 20 and 30 years.
Yeah. What did Eddie Griffin say? It's supposed to treat one thing, and it has 6 side effects.
I have a poster that says that. It's like, I take my Prilosec for my acid reflux that's caused by all the ibuprofen that I take because of my whatever. But it's just all these pills give you side effects, and then you take another pill for that side effect. And then your body can't heal. It's just so much toxins.
Crazy.
Yeah, it really slows down your body.
Well, wasn't there somebody who we were talking about before who had like a pill box like for every day of the week that had like 7 different pills? And
the average person takes like 13 pills or something. Yeah.
I don't know, but it sounds familiar.
It's like this one helps me wake up. This one helps me put.
I'm gonna jump out on a limb and people can laugh.
Makes me happy. This one makes me sad.
Smoke weed or ingest any THC in some form, and that fixes 95% of the problems. No joke. And people are gonna laugh about it and stuff. It's like, no, just open up your mind, do your research. That's the absolute truth.
Yeah.
And these drug companies are no different than, I guess you can say, the drug lords bringing in
but they're legal.
But they're legal. They're legal, and the war isn't. And the war is on paper. The war is all on paper. It's
government
not with weapons.
Gets money for it. Drug industry, it costs like $1 billion to make a pill.
There was a
prescription.
I saw a movie.
It could be more than that.
There was a movie with Jeremy Renner that I saw. I can't remember what it's called, but it's with Jeremy Renner, and he discovers that there was possible evidence the U.S. was paying some South American country to import cocaine or something like that, and for drug related for prescription medicines, but also just to distribute crack and cocaine on the streets.
I mean, I'm sure it happens all the time, but the drug industry is multi-billion-dollar industry. So anything that generates that much money, there's going to be some somebody's going to get sketchy with it.
Oh, for sure.
So you have patients asking you about marijuana as a medicinal treatment. I can't imagine. They see that doctor and they're like, hello.
Oh my gosh, my patients ask me the weirdest things. Yeah, they'll ask that like in a clinic full of people.
Yeah.
So, do you know anybody that I can get a marijuana card from, or what do you think about this? And so I just have to tell them there's benefits and, some negatives to everything.
Yeah.
But it's not legal here. So if you are in a place where it's legal, go ahead if that's what works for you. But I can't.
You can't
Be
condone
an
such
advocate. No, for
behavior.
something
That is
that's
so funny.
illegal.
My doctor's been hating. Let me check out my chiropractor right quick. Yeah, I could come up on this
That's
prescription.
so funny.
Dr.
It's like
Boyd,
they
can
go
you
down the
help me
list
out?
and finally chiropractor's the last doctor of last
Yeah, we're
resort.
trying to get like disability cards, so you can park in a handicap spot. Notes for work.
That's what it is.
Like, I'm not going to excuse you for a month of work when I saw you like one time. No,
That
I'm
is
not going to
so
do that.
funny, really.
Because I'm trying to get out of a week of work, so I might hit you up. Go see my chiropractor, Shannen Boyd, right quick.
Right,
Well, she
you
can
have to come
fill
in
your
and
medical
see me.
marijuana card while you're there.
No,
too,
that
so.
I do not need, but thank you. Good for you.
Oh, that's great.
You guys are doing great.
Are we?
Killing
Get
it.
a little off subject.
They look at me when they both realize they don't know what to do next. So then I usually jump in with a random question. But for the most part, no. It's been very well. It was funny because I was looking by. I'm like, holy cow! It's been almost 40 minutes, and
really?
time is just flying. And sometimes we're like talking. It's like, oh, this interview's not going so well.
It was
We
okay.
had one
It's
interview that
been
was
going
like
for 10 minutes.
25 minutes, and it
Would
ended
you just
up
stop
feeling
there and like stare at each
we were
other?
just like, it was a lot of staring. It was kind of awkward.
I mean, but to a certain
We're getting
degree,
used to it, though.
this conversation's going so great because we all went to high school together. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you speak to someone who you don't know
really
as
know
well,
or feel comfortable
yeah,
with.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, we
hit it all.
hit a lot of stuff. Oh, let's see.
You seem disappointed.
No, did we already discuss the difference between chiropractic therapy and physiotherapy?
Yeah, and physical therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Neil mentioned that earlier when he
Yeah.
asked me. It's like, I don't know. Ask Shannon when she gets here.
Yeah, just more of how PT is going to do more muscle work, more rehab, which I'm still licensed to do, but a lot of chiropractors, if they're too busy with just the adjusting, they'll refer it out, or if it's a specific injury that maybe I think another doctor is more fit to deal with, then I'll send them there. But they can't do any manipulations, no adjustments, nothing like that. Nothing for the bones, just the muscles.
That makes sense.
So I shouldn't let my friend crack my back.
No.
The really big burly friend of mine who doesn't speak English at all, but
just a
he just
giant bear
always
hug.
knows how to. I shouldn't do that anymore. I don't think I will after having
sometimes
this
though
conversation.
I do have to ask my boyfriend to crack my back like that.
Yeah.
It's not good for you, but just sometimes
Really?
you need a little.
Yeah, no, I know.
shake.
I know what you're
Do you get
saying.
treated by a chiropractor yourself
Sometimes.
when you have your own?
Yeah. When the other doctor is there in the Wheaton office with me, occasionally we can adjust each other.
Okay.
But usually our schedules are when he's free, I have a patient. When he has a patient, I'm free. So
Okay.
just whenever we can.
Good.
So you own 3 clinics.
No, own one.
You
I
own
practice
one.
in another
You practice at other 2.
Uh-huh.
Wow. What's next for you? I mean, that's already a really great start by the age of 28.
I really just want to focus on building my patients. I want to try to get more involved with, I said before, some children, some student athletes, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe going back to some cheer gyms that I used to coach in.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and adjusting there because club cheerleaders have the most neck and back injuries of any
It's like every
sport.
cheerleader I
Of
talk
any
to
sport
is
there
just a
is.
walking injury.
All
Yeah.
3 of them, right,
People
Riggs?
don't know.
All
apparently
3 of them,
like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously football is real dangerous, but like cheerleading, people don't know, but that's like an extremely dangerous thing.
Yeah,
to be
they
doing.
have the most neck and spinal cord injuries of any sport.
Jeez,
Football's right under it, but
I saw Bring It On the other day on TV.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wait, cheerleaders get more neck and spine injuries than
Yeah.
football players?
yep.
Wow.
Maybe they should be wearing
Pads or helmets.
Yeah.
I saw some nasty injuries in college. I saw a girl fracture her eye socket in cheerleading practice. So when you're throwing girls up and they're spinning and flipping, you're either going to get kicked, knee, elbow. She got an elbow straight to her eye socket. It fractured her orbital bone. She get a plate put in her face. Saw girls get their nose broken this one day. This girl took off her mask. She had a whole little mask so she could
Derrick
still go to
Rose.
practice. She did it off maybe 1 week early. Within 30 seconds of her taking it off, she got nicked on the nose. And it broke again.
God.
So I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to see if you change. I asked you this question I want to say like 13 years ago. Let's see if your answer's the same. Shannen Boyd.
What?
Is cheerleading a sport?
Heck yes, it is.
Wow, I love how just by that immediate look, I knew the answer to that question.
All right, then she hasn't changed it up on us much at all, you guys.
Cool. Do you think it is?
I've always thought it was a sport.
Okay.
Well,
then we're still friends.
I remember you like explained it to us one time, like this is why, and I guess I didn't think of it that way.
That was one of the hardest sports I've ever done.
No.
Cheerleading and probably snowboarding.
It's real, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any major injuries in high school or college doing cheerleading?
Maybe a couple concussions. Softball, I broke a couple fingers.
I feel like that's pretty normal. Yeah, we've all had concussions. We don't know our real last names.
But you're still ring occasionally.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah. Got hit in the face with a softball a couple times.
Oh yeah.
Live to tell.
Stuff's dangerous.
Yeah. So where can people find you again? Name the areas that you practice again, and obviously you have a website. What's the URL for the website? Talk about how people can find you.
So my website is www.drboyd, spelled out DoctorBoyd.com. My 3 locations are on there. My main one is Wheaton, right here. It's within the big Health Source building right next to Seven Doors on Roosevelt and President. The second one that I'm in is Gurnee. It's called Delaney Chiropractic Center. That's also on my website. And then my fun office in River North downtown. It's called the Chicago Fix.
Is that the medical marijuana dispensary?
No, but they do have medical doctors there. They do like Botox there. They have all kinds of docs. So.
Cool. And what sort of clients do you take on? So
they're really in all areas. They're kind of different clientele. The River North is more of like some socialites, people getting off right after work. Gurnee has been my older patients, older clientele, and then Wheaton is more of my athletes, some younger patients. So I get a nice mix.
Cool.
That's what's up. If I ever need an adjustment, you'll be the first person I hit up.
I'm gonna make sure
I've never
that you
been to a
get one.
chiropractor before.
You guys are all gonna get adjusted.
Yeah,
so close. You're
she
close.
said you guys are all gonna get adjusted.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, we'll have to stop by.
Shannen, is there anything that you want to discuss that we haven't touched base on yet at all? Anything that comes to mind?
No.
Okay.
So that's what they all say. So you're good.
It's because they feel like they're put on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that concludes the episode. We are out of time. And Dr. Shannen Boyd, thank you very much for coming by.
Thanks. This was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully I can be on another time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
For sure. So, again, thank you for coming on. And, guys, be on the lookout for the next episode. Straight up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's a wrap.
Well done.
You know what I wanted to bring up with you was, do you remember in high school when we were playing softball? We were forming a softball team, and I think him and I somehow got this idea to form another team, or I don't know what happened, but we tried to come up to you and be like, we want to form our own team, and you were like, I would expect this from Neil, but not from you.
Yeah, I know you remember that. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, this is the troublemaker between the two.
They remember the oddest thing.
No, that's funny. No.
We were discussing it, and I'm like, you tell Shannen. No, you tell Shannen. No, you tell. Okay, fine, I'll do it.
That's so funny.
She's been breaking balls for what, 6, 7, 8 years?
Ever.
It's a long time,
High
man.
school was way longer than that, dude.
I remember, like, right after I said that too, the look you gave me, I was like, oh my gosh, big mistake.
And he's like, yeah, because, Shane, you worked out. He's like, yeah, dude, she works out. She's got muscles. Like, dude, you tell her. I'm like, all right. I'll approach this,
I was so buff in high school.
Yeah, you were swole.
The athlete.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Neil and I were talking about, he's like, have you heard anything about the high school reunion? And I was like, no, I saw,
Oh, yeah. When, isn't
saw-
that like this summer?
well, I saw Paul Hale
I don't know.
last June at a bar, and he was like, yeah, Forkins is supposed to organize it, but I don't think he's going to. Cruzen said he'll step up, and then I saw him again.
John
I think,
Cruzen?
and then I saw him again, I think, him and Kelly Stack either a couple weeks.
Yeah, I saw Kelly Stack at some bar, maybe like a month or two ago.
Yeah, I saw them right before I saw you at the restaurant, and I was like, any update? And they're like, no, Forkins still, I don't think he's going to do it. Cruzen is going to step up. He'll step up, but he wants people to help him, and now it's, middle of February, and I haven't heard anything from everyone, so I'm
haven't
hoping
heard
that we
anything
have,
about it.
I mean, should we throw it?
We could. I think we got this under control, because before we were like, Neil and I will do it.
But you don't want two people,
but we don't
trying
want
to
to
go
be
for the
too
same
busy
thing.
doing this that we can't focus on that. But if we can get like another 4 people together to help just
Well,
knock everything out or something, I don't
Jessica
know.
Goff.
Would you be down?
Yes.
I remember in
Yes.
high school in
What type of
study hall,
question is that?
Oh, yeah.
I remember
she
in
would
study
jump
hall,
on
I'm
it.
sitting at the table, and I'm with like Chander Cannon, And she comes over and she's like, "Hey guys, can I sit down?" And we're like, "Sure."
Isn't that still how she talks?
And so she sits down and she's got her paper and pen, and she's like, "Okay, so I just want to talk to you guys about the potential senior trip that we're going to be having." And she's trying to sell us on this idea of like this
Going to Cancun
like
or something.
island in the Bahamas or something. Pay $700 or $800 to go, and then her selling points are. Yeah, a lot of celebrities have been there. Like Paris Hilton was there a few weeks ago, and Chandler's just like in his head. I can just tell he's just like, I do not.
Oh man.
No, she's the same way. If she would jump on it, she would be excited to do it.
We'll have to hit her up.
Yeah, she's very. She'll make
She's
sure stuff
the
gets
exact
done.
same.
Yeah. I've seen her.
She's so peppy. Like she'll make it fun. She'll plan all the details and stuff. She'll go a little overboard.
I remember one time too in health class, freshman year, probably like the first, second week of school. Somehow I was talking to her about baseball. And
Oh
she's
my
like,
God,
yeah,
she is
she's like, I love
obsessed.
the Sox. And
She
I
has
was
a
like,
Sox tattoo.
Did she really? So does Dan
When they won.
Rosenstein, I think.
When they won.
When they won.
Are you saying she jumped on the bandwagon?
No, she always loved
No,
them.
she always has, because I told her, it's like, yeah, I'm a fan of the Cubs. And she's like, oh, please, you're just saying that because I said I like the Sox. Just like,
She talks
okay,
the
high
same way.
school, fun.
Yeah. So he knows the crew from high school. He's met them.
Yeah, you met most of them.
Yeah, we went to a carnival.
Oh, the Summer Fest, the GH Fest. We went.
Oh,
You
God.
still go to-
years.
you
This
still go
was
to-
the first one I'd been to in like 10 years.
You remember
Did
that
you see
thing where you
everyone-
go
Same
and
old
spin
faces.
around and you can be like upside down?
We
on the,
did
I tell
that.
you how small the town is. So the next day, I'm sitting in front of her mom's house. Somebody walks by and goes, "Oh, there's Shannon's boyfriend." I'm sorry, I haven't seen him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
GH Fest is fun.
Where are you from?
Ohio.
You're from Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh, we're in
Okay.
Ohio.
Akron.
Akron.
Ohio.
Birthplace of mankind.
Birthplace of
That makes
One
you a
can say.
Cavaliers fan.
Unfortunately.
We'll talk.
Are you a LeBron fan?
Of course he
I
is.
am. I am.
Of
course.
Jessica
I
Goff.
thought I knew that. I
Let
knew
me
that.
tell you something. Jessica Goff. I ran into Jessica on the train.
You
And
did?
Yeah.
When?
Like I ran into Jessica a lot.
He
over
runs
the
into
last, like, 6
everyone
months.
in the most
I've
random
never
places.
seen you.
I
since
told
I've
you
been
we've always
back.
been like the same vicinity. I feel like over the last 10 years, but we just never.
No,
I've
I
bumped into
haven't been
people
here
on the
for
train.
4 years.
So I ran into Jessica on the train.
Great,
Shannon.
let me go back to what I was
And
talking about.
yeah, and Jessica was like, she was tipsy. And she was with her sister
Yeah, Heather.
Heather, and I told them like they were hating on Dellavedova, like he's this, he's that, the third. I'm
But
like,
they know what they're talking about, though.
I'm like,
They
no,
know
there's
their
words. I'm like,
athletes.
he's actually not that bad. She's like, you must be a LeBron fan. I'm like, I am. And she tried to kick me off the train. And she was like, she was very drunk and making a little scene. I was completely sober. I was like, yo, this girl lost her mind.
Were you embarrassed?
Yes.
Then
I
you
was a
shouldn't
little
have been a Cavs fan.
I'm sorry. I can't change who I am, Shay. I can't.
I wonder
do
how many
it.
people like burned his uniform and threw out all their posters and crap, and then just bought it, had to buy more stuff.
Cavs.
There were news stories about that. You know, they had to rummage through the garbage dump or whatever. to find
Yeah.
their-
I saw a thing on Twitter. It was probably one of the funniest videos I've seen. It was this guy wearing a Panthers uniform like the last 2 minutes of the Super Bowl when they got scored on again, and he's like, "Damn you, Cam Newton! Damn you!" He takes the he's like son or someone's filming it. He takes the TV
I saw
and
that.
smashes it on the floor, leaves to like go get a golf club or something like that, and is smashing it.
You
It just
saw it? I didn't see that.
there's some. I
Yeah.
mean, on Twitter, it's
Yeah.
like just a 30-second video, but I saw it on Facebook. It was like 2.5, 3 minutes of this
This guy
just
in a
non-stop,
tire-
just
yeah.
destroying the television,
Nice
picking it up,
TV.
throwing it. Yeah.
You must have money.
It was like a big TV. No, it didn't look like they were rich.
No, it just looked like a normal
His
person's
one piece
house
of
with like
nice
a
property.
flat screen TV.
Okay, that was their one nice thing.
That was their one nice thing. That's how angry he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did any Westies go to NIU?
Yeah, Keith Sinan went.
Keith, yeah, I saw
I,
Keith.
I bumped him on the train one time a few years ago.
Who else went there?
Who played
Mallory
didn't someone
Mayer, I
play
think, went
football?
to NIU.
She was who was the girl who was a
Jordan.
dancer and she had curly hair?
Was it Jordan?
Vincent played football.
What grade
Brandon.
was she in?
Brandon played there only for like a year. She was our age.
A dancer.
Yeah, she was on a
Like
dance
on
team and she had
Steppers or
curly
something,
hair.
or-
No, on the dance team like Palms.
We had a different. Oh, like cheerleading.
Maddie.
No.
Maddie something.
Yes.
Oh, Maddie. She dated Devin for a little. Maddie Johns. Maddie
Yep.
Johns.
She went to NIU,
Yeah.
but I never really saw her. I saw Keith. I would see
We'll get
Nas.
to see. Oh yeah, Nas.
Nas,
yeah.
wow. He went to
I would see him like randomly.
Shout
all
out
the
to
time
Nas.
there.
He liked our Facebook page. I think he subscribed.
Oh
to our
yeah,
channel,
I saw
too.
that. That was very nice.
Did
of
you
him.
subscribe? You're on your phone right now. Do it.
He's going to, so he doesn't have to talk.
Was it straight up? So which one of you guys went to the event at Fleetwood with Swank?
All of us. We were all there.
Was Swank PR?
Yeah.
You were there?
Brianna's thing?
Yeah, you know Brianna?
That's, yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I used
Small
to work
world.
with Brianna. I know Boy, Illinois very well. I did it.
Yeah, Boy, Illinois, I know him.
You know Billy?
Billy who?
The boy Illinois.
Oh, I didn't know his name.
I hope you would say, "Hey, the boy Illinois, how are you doing?" He probably wouldn't mind if you
He's
did.
great. I didn't know his name's Billy. Now I know him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know her? How do you guys know Brianna?
So, building our network, you know.
We're
Meeting
working
people.
with Swank Publishing. VNR Media is trying to form a.
That was the
Partnership.
first time that
We should call her and tell her today.
You don't work with Bree no more?
We're still friends.
We're still
We just went out with her like a month ago
Yeah.
to the Paris Club.
I'll let her tell you. Go ahead.
Who was there?
Um,
What did we go there for?
Yeah, we've been trying to meet with her. So his cousin, so Dominic, who was here earlier.
Yeah.
So him and the Boy Illinois are both clients of Brianna, and his company, his thing is Elite Society,
Right,
and
Dom's.
they're
I've seen
partnered
that
with
on
us.
Facebook.
Yeah.
They're like they're helping us launch, and so he is connecting us with Bree to try and publicize and get stuff out there. But we went to that event, and everyone's just been busy with everything. We've yet to sit down with her and
Okay.
kind of discuss how to move forward with things.
That's so funny. What a small world.
You weren't playing musical chairs, were you? That night? Did you see the
Oh,
when
yeah,
they were playing
I did.
musical
Yeah,
chairs? Do you
musical
remember that?
chairs.
I came there. Matter of fact, who did I bring there? I came right in the beginning. I left. There was a lot going on that night. But
When was it?
It was December
29th.
30th.
December 29th, Tuesday.
Coming home to you
It was a
guys.
The
Tuesday.
coming out party for Straight Up.
I can't remember what I brought there. I had two people with me. Somewhere.
Yeah.
It was funny because before this, we knew about the media event. We're like, oh, this would be a great opportunity. And Dom's like, yeah, you can just come in.
Oh, I remember. It's the same night as Timbuktu had his thing at Metro. That's what it was. There was a lot going on that night, and it was George Daniels had a thing going on, his birthday party.
It was like a
on
Tuesday
Wednesday.
night.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Was it Tuesday?
It was on a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday.
Tuesday or
so-
Wednesday.
No, it was a Tuesday. Wednesday night I had a date.
Oh my god,
Thursday
who cares?
night
It was
was-
Tuesday.
was-
or Wednesday.
It was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it was Wednesday. Tuesday I had a date. Thursday I worked out and benched.
Don't you date right now?
And then it all comes back.
But she
to
knows
me.
Yeah.
business comes
That's
first.
how
Is she
he
from GH?
Chronicles.
No.
his journey.
Do we know her?
She's from Roselle.
Who?
What is that?
Oh,
Yeah.
His date?
Yeah.
Is
Is
she-
that your
We don't
first
know
date?
anything about her except she's I
No,
think a doctor.
she's a doctor.
Eve.
Of what?
I think I've
She's
met
an
her maybe one time.
anesthesiologist.
What?
Oh, keep her money.
Yeah.
How old is she?
Do not
She-
miss that. I'm telling you.
She's 26 or 27. She's 26. Yeah.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
They pay.
Yeah,
They pay more than any other doctor though in malpractice insurance.
That's what I'm told.
More than a neurosurgeon. More than anything else.
More than a
She knows. That's what I have to work.
How did you find her? Did she like girls?
Does she like
I would
girls?
like a girl.
She doesn't. No, I don't think she likes girls.
And you know what? You know why Neil's really looking forward to this?
Man,
is
we
because
could both date an
she's treating him.
anesthesiologist.
She's treating him.
No shit.
Yeah. Normally, like
Gosh.
I have this thing, Shannon. So if I invite a young lady out, regardless of
He's
who makes
expecting
what,
a return date.
I
on her
pay for it. But
pocket.
she invited me out tonight, so she will handle the
That's
bill.
good. That means
Valentine's
she's a
Day?
good girl.
Yeah, she's
she's
treating.
genuine. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
Are
it's
you gonna
be
take her
nice.
out tomorrow?
Some 5-star
No,
fusion restaurant.
I'm not gonna see her tomorrow. I'll take her out.
You're not
next
gonna
week.
see her on Valentine's Day.
He's very
She's gonna text her
counterintuitive
calling.
when it
He's gonna
comes to
dismiss it,
romantic
and
gestures.
then
No,
hit her
that's-
Can you
up
at
on
least
Monday
like
or
cook her
Tuesday.
dinner at her house, or like bring her a card and
Bring her a
flowers
candle.
tomorrow?
I'll bring her.
Everyone loves candles.
Yeah, I'll bring her a rose. You know.
A rose.
Yeah.
A rose.
Rose.
Yeah.
She's an anesthesiologist. She doesn't want a rose.
Shannon, if you had to pick one, would you pick flowers or chocolate?
Flowers.
Nice. I'd pick chocolate.
I would pick chocolate covered fruit. But you didn't.
Yeah,
say
like
that.
those edible,
That wasn't in the
edible
list of
arrangements.
options.
Conversation about it cost me some money.
Yeah,
Hint,
for
hint,
real.
hint, hint.
Oh
Talk
man.
about something else now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe you guys can do something together, since you do all your sports marketing. Yeah.
I just followed you guys. Who controls the Instagram handle?
Unfortunately.
I just followed you
All
guys.
right. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
You're always looking for, because I mean, I explained to you in the email, like, how we just always, anybody who's just fun to talk to, you know, we'll have
Doing
them on the
something,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, season 1 right now. We're sort of getting together our identity, and hopefully we'll be able to take stock and figure out how
Yeah.
to more effectively monetize this
Tell her Neil's responsible. Tell with the AdSense. Tell her how that works and the email that we got because of Neil.
Well,
why is it because of Neil?
Well, you're the one who did
we get an email that says you have been, what does it say?
Your
in violation
AdSense
of something. We have disabled your account. You're banned for 30 days.
What does that have to do with Neil?
I'm just putting you on the
But it was because
he neglected a warning messages.
It was. He went a little crazy with the subscribers.
Basically, we came up. Google started
They
hating.
were just trying to
know
keep
how that
people
is.
stunting. That's really what it was.
Basically.
Really?
Sorry.